BlahBlah.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Sakura, and this is an unexpected episode of BlahBlah. Today we're going to talk about the sad loss of a legend, Whitney Houston. She died today at 48 years old. It sounds really young. You're not even halfway to 100, and she died a legend, first of all, and we don't know the exact cause of death, but the media is twisting so many things around, and you know how they get crazy with tabloids, and TMZ goes crazy reporting things, and so we don't really know what happened to Whitney. Apparently she was partying really hard last night. They were loud, and everyone was pretty much just celebrating Grammy weekend, which is Sunday. Sources say Whitney's entourage showed up to her hotel room and found her dead. They called 911, of course, and obviously they couldn't revive her. We don't know exactly what happened, what caused her to die. She was seen out in Hollywood Thursday night at a pre-Grammy party. She even grabbed the mic and sang "Jesus Love Me." Her voice isn't what it was, but she was there. She looked like she was in good spirits. But some other sources are saying that she was disheveled looking. She had cuts on her leg or something. I don't know if someone was scratching her. Who knows what happened. Now, Whitney's mother was just speaking to Whitney 25 to 30 minutes before she died. She said nothing sounded unusual. They were talking about Clive Davis's party. Everything seemed fine. Now, we all know Whitney has had a terrible past of abusing drugs on her body and her voice. She never fully recovered, I believe, from all of that, even though her last album was kind of like her comeback, her rejuvenation of herself and conquering everything that was dark in her life. Even though, like I said, we don't know exactly what caused her death. She could have had a heart attack. Could have been nothing related to drugs at all, but it could have been the drugs that, anticipated something that affected her body. For her partying hard last night and the other night looking a little disheveled, it kind of just makes you, wonder what she was going through if she got back into drugs. Drugs are a terrible thing. They can take over your mind, your body, and your soul, and you do not want to, allow yourself open to things like that. But like I said, I'm not going to put the blame on drugs because I don't really know the truth what happened. All I know is we lost a legend. Now, focusing on the good stuff, Whitney Houston has won a slew of awards. 2 Emmy Awards, 6 Grammy Awards, 30 Billboard Music Awards, 22 American Music Awards, and her album Whitney was the first female album to ever debut at #1 on the Billboard music charts. She has sold over 200 million albums worldwide. That is a crazy accomplishment. Whitney's voice was so high above everything else, it was just legendary, undeniable talent. Her voice will never be forgotten. Definitely one of the greatest voices in our generation. It's just very sad to see such a talent fade away, and it sucks. Now, Whitney has been working on a movie called Sparkle starring her and Jordan Sparks. The movie is apparently in post-production. Hopefully they got every shot they needed. The film was set to come out in summer 2012, but I don't know what's gonna happen with that. It's kind of like a Heath Ledger, Dark Knight type of thing. It's a post-death type of performance, and it could be very emotional for the people involved and all the fans, of course. Jordan Sparks worked very closely with Whitney. It was almost like a mother-daughter relationship during the film, so I'm sure she is just utterly devastated. The only comforting thing with this whole death is that Whitney, numerously, professed her belief in God and her love of God, and, she had Christian roots. Her mother and her family, they were very strong in gospel and, with religion and God. I believe that she's up in heaven right now. God called his angel home. He wanted her to sing for him, and one day when we all get to heaven, we'll have a great celebration and Whitney will be singing there. That's what I believe. You don't have to believe in that. That's, your thing and this is my thing. This is what Whitney believed in. She, professed her love, her belief in God, and you could tell she was spiritual with certain songs like I Look to You and different things that help her rise above. Every year, Clive Davis has a huge Grammy party, and he pretty much discovered Whitney Houston and made her who she was today. The party was canceled. It was tonight, and Whitney was in town pretty much to attend the party. There's obviously no way you can have a party and celebrate music and careers and stuff like that when, his main girl died. I'm assuming the Grammys will have a tribute and have some artists sing songs. I don't know who. Jennifer Hudson, Beyonce, Adele. I have no idea. But it's going to be really sad to hear, these artists sing because she was an inspiration to so many people. That's pretty much all I have to say for BlahBlah. Stay tuned, subscribe, and, keep your loved ones close. And if anybody's going through hard times, whether it be drugs or depression or, anything like that, it doesn't have to be a cause of death or whatever, but you have to be there for the ones you love and make sure you're always there, helping them, directing them, guiding them, and comforting them. So, yeah, this is BlahBlah, and we'll check you next week.
Blah, blah.